Hi, I'm Aria from Vet and Pet Direct, and I have some of our slow feeding options here, which is what we're going to talk about today. So, what is slow feeding? Well, it's kind of exactly that. It's slowing your dog's feeding down so that they're not eating as quickly and wolfing their food down. So why is slow feeding important? Well, firstly, there's some medical reasons that we want to slow our dog's eating down. I don't know about you guys, but when my dog eats out of a bowl, he turns into a vacuum. He just is like with all the food. This isn't great for a number of reasons. When they're gulping their food down really quickly and just hoovering it like that, like a vacuum, they're actually swallowing quite a lot of air. That can lead to a condition called bloat. It's more common in large dogs, but it's very serious and we want to avoid that at all costs. There's also the risk of choking. When they're eating really quickly, they can actually choke on their food. So that's obviously quite dangerous. And the other thing, which my dog has also done before, is when they gulp their food down, then they vomit it back up because they've eaten it too quickly, and super gross. But oftentimes you look at it and you're like, yeah, you didn't chew that. So this is a way to prevent that, which is just more pleasant for everybody who's involved in it. It also can help reduce the risk of obesity. So if they're not eating so quickly, just like us, if we eat more slowly, then it gives the food time to digest properly and won't get as podgy from it. Another reason that slow feeding is important is that mental, psychological aspect of it. So something you'll hear a lot is about dog enrichment. Slow feeding is just one type of enrichment. So the way that I think of slow feeding is not that we're trying to make eating really hard for them, or, you know, like make eating a chore for them. It's more trying to, of course we want to slow it down, but make it more fun and enjoyable experience for them. So it's like the difference between like having a, you know, microwave TV dinner at home in the little plastic thing, like you didn't even put it in a bowl, you're just like, whatever, I just eat it out of the thing. Or going to the sushi train where the food's like on a little carriage and there's a little train and it all looks like really pretty. So that is kind of like a slow feeding enrichment for humans, where we have these different aspects of our senses being enriched, where, you know, we have this amazing, really cool delivery of food like right past us. And then, you know, you can spot one like over the other side of the restaurant and be like, oh yes, I love that. And you have to wait for it to come around and then like catch it and grab it, and then you get to eat it and then do it all over again. It's really fun. And that's what slow feeding for dogs should be like. Start feeding from slow feeders all the time. Now my dog only eats out of slow feeders and it's great. It has helped him so much. He's a much more relaxed dog. He's a much more chill dog. I don't have to clean up Hoover spews anymore. There's a huge range of products. It might be like a little bit confusing, like, oh my God, where do I start? So the thing to think about is what your dog is like and what they enjoy. So we have bowls. Bowls is a good place to start. Your dog probably already eats out of a bowl. So there's some bowl or bowl adjacent type things that are a good place to start. So a lot of these have some kind of little thing that they have to hunt around. So like the little nodules on these types of toys, I'm sure you can see them all here. They have to sort of sniff around and work around these, and it's like engaging that part of their brain that they would have used in the wild where they had to sort of hunt and work for their food. It's engaging that where they have to seek it out. And that's something that we actually all have in common, like dogs, cats, humans. Our ancestors had to work really hard for their food, and we don't do that anymore. So this is a way to tap into that part of your dog's brain and their personality and, you know, their basis of the DNA of their species in a really fun way and an easy way. Also, if you're just, you know, you just want to keep feeding kibble, you don't have a lot of time to think about this, these are great because you can just treat it like a bowl. Just pop the kibble in there and off you go. Then there is the little mats, so these licking mat type things. I love these. They are really wonderful for getting dogs to kind of just chill. Like if you have a super excitable dog like I do, these are so good for if he's just in a really crazy mood. Say it's been raining for a few days and he hasn't got to, go outside and do crazy dog things out there and he's getting a little bit antsy. I love these because he really just has to take the time to just sit down and lick and just chill and soothe and really focus in on it. And you can put all sorts of food in them. So you can put wet food, dry food, yogurt, apple puree. You can get really creative with them. And there's different types of mats for things. So there's some that are, especially designed for dry food if your dog's on kibble only. And then there's other ones that you can sort of mix and match with. So there's options for everything with those. And they're a really great little thing to have. There's also Snuffle mats. So these are made of fabric and they're nice and soft. And these, you only really should put dry things in them because they're fabric. So you can pop your kibble in there or some little treats like maybe some jerky or whatnot. And these are cool because they engage your dog to use their nose. So they use their nose to find out what's in there. And again, it's tapping into that hunting instinct where they have to go and find what they're looking for in there. I like that they're really soft. These might be a really good option for dogs with short faces who maybe don't have a long enough snout to get into some puzzle toys or whatnot. So they can, get their nose in there and it's going to be nice and soft. And then when they're done and they're all tired from snuffling, they can lay on a little blankie. Then there is a huge range of different toys. This is where things start to get really creative and there's lots of cool stuff out there. There is a lot of different toys. So this is where I think it's cool to think about how your dog likes to play. Is your dog a dog that likes to chase things? Well, then have a look for a toy that's going to move around as they're getting the food out of it. There's also toys that they have to move around to get the food out of it. So that might be good for a dog who has a really strong kind of chasing instinct. If your dog's kind of a little bit of a lazy pup and just likes to chill out, then there's toys where they just have to sort of sit in the one spot and concentrate on figuring out how to get things out of there. And then if you have a dog who's really smart, often working breeds who are really highly active, then there's toys that move down to the puzzle toy range of things. So there are some toys that will be quite tricky for them to work out how to get the food out, and some dogs really enjoy that challenge. I know my dog really does. And then that's where the specific puzzle toys are really great. But any dog can have fun with these. It's not just for those super genius, straight A student dogs. These are great for a lot of dogs. They're a range up from ones that are quite easy to figure out to the more complicated ones. No matter which type of slow feeder you pick to use, make sure that everything's still intact before you use it. So, check that nothing's chipped or cracked or torn. This is really important because obviously they're eating out of them, so you don't want them ingesting anything that they shouldn't be. So it's important for safety purposes just to make sure that everything is still as it should be. I hope this helps to give you an idea of what slow feeders are, what type of options for slow feeding there is out there, and also why it's important. I hope you and your dog enjoy your meal times, and thanks for watching.